ಅನುದಿನ ಅನುಕ್ಷಣ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಕಲಿಯೋಣ. ಕಲಿಕೆಯ ಹೊಸ ಹಾದಿಯಲಿ ಜೊತೆಗೂಡಿ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಹಾಕೋಣ. ಸಂತಸದಿ ಕಲಿಯೋಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ.
Yes sir. Yes teacher. Present ma'am.
Hello children. Say hi. Say hello. Now say namaste. Very good. I welcome you all to today's 7th standard second language English class. And our today's topic is avoid plastics. Now before we start the class, children, I want you to be ready with your textbook, notebook and pen and pencil so that you can note down what is being taught in today's class. So shall we start today's class? Now we are going to start with a small fun activity. Now in your textbook, you all can open page number 21. Now in page number 21, they have given, observe the pictures given below and draw a circle around the picture you would like to choose and say why you have chosen it. Now here are the pictures, children. The first one is a snake skin bag, earthen pot, leaf plate, cloth bag, plastic tumbler, ivory necklace, plastic stool, plastic plates, crocodile skin belt, banana leaves, jute mat, plastic bags. Now, what do you have to do in these pictures, children? You have to circle the pictures you would like to use. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ನೀವು ಈ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಗುರುತು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ? Now, snake skin bag. What is a snake skin bag? ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಹಾವಿನ ಚರ್ಮದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಗು. earthen pot. earthen pot ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಮಡಿಕೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ ಮಡಿಕೆ? ಎಸ್. leaf plate. ಎಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ತಟ್ಟೆ. ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್. ಬಟ್ಟೆಯ ಬ್ಯಾಗು. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟಂಬ್ಲರ್, ಐವರಿ ನೆಕ್ಲೆಸ್. ಐವರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಆನೆಯ ದಂತ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ವಾ? ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಟಸ್ಕ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಜ್ಯುವೆಲ್ಲರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಡವೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಐವರಿ ನೆಕ್ಲೆಸ್. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೂಲ್, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್, ಕ್ರಾಕಡೈಲ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಬೆಲ್ಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಬೆಲ್ಟನ್ನು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ತಯಾರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಮೊಸಳೆಯ ಚರ್ಮದಿಂದ ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬನಾನಾ ಲೀಫ್, jute mat, plastic bag. Now you know these things. Come on, start circling the objects which you would like to use. Now let's look at the answers. Earthen pot. Have you all circled earthen pot? Do you like to use it? The next one, leaf plate, cloth bag, banana leaf, jute mat. Have you all circled these objects? Now why have you circled these objects, children? ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಗುರುತು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Because it is good for our environment. Correct? These things are made up of natural materials. What about the remaining things? What about these objects? Why have you not circled them? Because they are not good for our environment. Right? Now, this is what is our today's lesson is about. Avoid plastic. Children, in your textbook, you can come to page number 22. Now, I am going to read the lesson. You all should listen carefully and later you can practice to read the lesson at home when you have time. So are you ready? Shall I start reading the lesson? It's time to say no to plastic. Plastic is not a strange product to anyone. It's everywhere in the present world and it has become a part of our life. Alexander Parkes created the first man-made plastic. He demonstrated it in an international exhibition in London. He named it as Parksine. The common and wide use of plastic is mainly because it is inexpensive, it is long-lasting, and it is easy to make. This substance can be molded into any form by heating and it can be retained in that particular form when cooled. It can be made into thin and light material which is now widely used to make hard and disposable carry bags or packaging materials. These qualities cause threat to the environment. As it is cheap and easily available, people dispose plastic everywhere. Plastic stays on the earth's surface for many centuries as it is long-lasting and is impossible to decompose. It ultimately causes enormous environmental hazards. Due to migration, plastic pollution is highly concentrated in big cities. When these are thrown after use, they remain in the soil in the same form as they are non-biodegradable. Now children, did you all listen attentively to the reading? Very good. Now while I was reading, there were a few words which were new and you don't know their meanings. So here, now we'll learn about new words and their meanings. Let's look at the first word. Demonstrate. What is the meaning? Explaining of how something works. Explaining of how something works. Here in the lesson we have, he demonstrated it in an international exhibition in London. It means he tried to explain about plastic in an international exhibition in London. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಪ್ರದರ್ಶಿಸು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಮಾನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಪ್ರದರ್ಶಿಸಿದರು. ಏನನ್ನು ಪ್ರದರ್ಶಿಸಿದರು? ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಪ್ರದರ್ಶಿಸಿದರು. Now repeat after me children. Demonstrate. Explaining of how something works. Let's move on to the next word. Mold. The meaning is give a shape. In the lesson we have this substance can be molded into any form. It means plastic can be given any shape. We have seen plastic objects in different shapes, like a plate which is round, a bucket, or a tumbler, or a ball, toys, so many things in different shapes. Mold ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಚ್ಚು. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹಬ್ಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಚ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ವಾ? ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅಚ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕನ್ನು ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Yes, repeat after me children. Mold. Give a shape. Disposable. Meaning meant to be used once and thrown. Meant to be used once and thrown. In the lesson we have, it can be made into thin and light material which is now widely used to make hard and disposable carry bags. What are disposable carry bags? We use it once and then after using it, what do? We throw them away. You have disposable cups, disposable plates, right? We use them only once. After that, we throw it, isn't it? So that is what is called disposable. What do you tell in Kannada? ಬಳಸಿ ಬಿಸಾಡಬಹುದಾದ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತು. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ನೀವು ಬಳಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಬಿಸಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಬಲ್. ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮೀ. disposable, meant to be, used once and thrown. Let's look at the next word. Decompose, meaning become rotten. In the lesson, we have the sentence, it is long lasting and is impossible to decompose. It is impossible to decompose. That means it cannot be rotten. It cannot be rotten. ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಕೊಳೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? It is impossible to decompose. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೊಳೆಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Now you must have seen the vegetables and fruits. What happens to the vegetables and fruits after few days? They become rotten, isn't it? ತರಕಾರಿಗಳು, ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ದಿನಗಳಾದಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಳ್ತೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೊಳ್ತೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. It will not be rotten. So here the meaning is decompose, become rotten. But in the lesson it is impossible to decompose. It means it will not get rotten. Now repeat after me, children. Decompose, become rotten. Let's move on to the next word. Enormous, meaning very large, huge. In the lesson we have the sentence, it ultimately causes enormous environmental hazards. Enormous environmental hazards, meaning it causes huge damage to the environment. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ? ಅಗಾಧವಾದ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪಾಯವನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ತೊಂದರೆಯನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Now repeat after me. Enormous, very large, huge. Next word, hazards, meaning dangerous. Again in the same sentence we have the word enormous environmental hazards. It means it causes huge environmental danger. It causes huge environmental problems or dangers. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಪಾಯಕಾರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರಿಸರಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪಾಯ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Now repeat after me, children. Hazards, dangerous. Next word, migration. The next word is migration, meaning move from one place to another. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ವಲಸೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ವಲಸೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು. In the lesson we have the sentence, due to migration, plastic pollution is highly concentrated in big cities. Due to migration ಅಂದರೆ ವಲಸೆ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ನಗರಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಜನರು. ಆಗ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಮಾಲಿನ್ಯನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗತ್ತೆ. So migration, move from one place to another. It means that more and more people are moving from villages and other places to big cities. Now repeat after me, children. Migration, move from one place to another. Very good. Non-biodegradable. It is a big word. So listen carefully. Non-biodegradable, meaning not capable of being decomposed. Now, we have already learned the meaning of decomposed. Means become rotten. Now here the meaning is not capable of being decomposed. That means it cannot be decomposed. For such things we call non-biodegradable. Let us understand the meaning in Kannada. ಈ ಪದನ ನೀವು ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರ. ಜೈವಿಕ ವಿಘಟನೀಯವಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ನಾನ್ ಬಯೋಡಿಗ್ರೇಡಬಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಜೈವಿಕ ವಿಘಟನೀಯವಲ್ಲದ ವಸ್ತು. They remain in the soil in the same form as they are non-biodegradable. So what happens to plastic? They do not decompose. So they remain in the soil. So such things are called non-biodegradable. Now do you all remember the meanings of the words that I have taught you, children? Yes? Then here's a small activity for you. Match the words with their meanings. Now here I have the words and here are their meanings. Now come on, start matching the words with their meanings. First word, decompose. Second one, mold. Third one, disposable. Fourth one, enormous. Fifth one, hazards. Now let's check the answers. The first word is decompose. What is the meaning? Rotten. Decompose means it will become rotten. The second word is mold. What is the meaning? Give shape. Mold means give shape. Third word, disposable. What is the meaning? Use and throw. Fourth word is enormous. What is the meaning? Very large. The fifth word is hazards. What is the meaning? Dangerous. How many of you got the answers right? Very good. Well done. Great job, children. Now, children, do you know how plastics are made? Now, let me show you with the help of a video how plastics are made. Now, watch the video carefully, children. I'll be asking you questions later.
Some of the earliest uses of plastic date as far back as 3,500 years ago, when the Olmecs of Mexico used naturally occurring plastics, sap from gum trees, to create rubber balls. During the mid-19th and 20th centuries, synthetic plastics like celluloid and bakelite made their debut and were used for decades. On the molecular level, plastics are made of polymers, which are long, flexible chains of chemical compounds. This structure allows plastics to be easily molded and shaped, especially under heat and pressure. The first step in the production of plastic is the extraction of crude oil and natural gas from the ground. From there, the fossil fuels are sent to refineries where they are converted into several products, including the building blocks of plastic, ethane from crude oil, and propane from natural gas. Ethane and propane are then sent to a cracker plant to be cracked or broken down into smaller molecules. Ethane produces ethylene and propane becomes propylene. Next, a catalyst is mixed in, which links the molecules together and forms polymers called resins. This structure allows plastics to be easily molded and shaped, especially under heat and pressure. Polymerization converts ethylene into the resin polyethylene and propylene into polypropylene. These resins are then melted, cooled down, and chopped up into pre-production plastic pellets known as nurdles. Nurdles are later transported to manufacturers who use heat to mold the nurdles into different types of plastic products. Because of plastic's utility, its global production has doubled about every decade. The amount of plastics produced since 1950 has measured at about 9.2 billion tons, the weight of nearly 1,600 Great Pyramids of Giza.
Children, did you all see the video? Very good. Now, we all use plastic in our everyday life. We use plastics in our kitchen. We store grains, rice, pulses, other things in plastic containers. We use many plastic toys at home. We use plastic furnitures. Plastic is everywhere. Plastic is everywhere. So what happens to this plastic? When it is thrown away after use, the plastic remains as it is in the soil. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಳಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಸೆದಾಗ ಅದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೇ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. That is why we say that plastic is non-biodegradable. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಒಂದು ಜೈವಿಕ ವಿಘಟನೀಯವಲ್ಲದ ವಸ್ತು. Plastic remains as it is in the soil for many centuries. What is the meaning of centuries? For many years, 100, 200, 500 years. It remains as it is in the soil. Now, do you know who invented this plastic? It was Alexander Parks. He invented plastic. Now, where did he invent the plastic? He invented it in London. Now, tell me, where did he first demonstrate it? It was in an exhibition in London. It was a very big exhibition. That is why it is said it was an international exhibition. So he demonstrated how plastic is made and what are the uses. Now, do you remember all that was taught so far? Very good. Now, here is the next activity. Fill in the blanks with the right answers. Now, what are the answers? Cities, cheap, park sign, Alexander Parks, earths. Now, here are the sentences. Now, can you choose the correct answer and fill in the blanks? Let's check the answers. First question, plastic was invented by, what is the answer? Alexander Parks. Second question, plastic was named as park sign. Third question, people dispose plastic everywhere because it is dash and easily available. What is the answer? Cheap. Fourth question, plastic pollution is seen more in dash. In cities. The last question, the disposed plastic stays on the dash surface. The last answer is Earth's surface. Well done, children. You did a great job. Now, let's move on to our next topic, suffix. Now, this is something you have already learnt in your previous class, that is in 6th standard. Now, let me explain to you what a suffix is. Suffixes are used to change words into adjectives or nouns. Suffixes are added at the end of a word. In your previous class, 6th standard, you have learnt about the suffix less, L-E-S-S, less. When this is added to a word, it gives the meaning without. Example, color, and here is the suffix less, and this has to be added at the end of the word. So, now we have the word colorless. Yes, now let's look at the next example. Use, we have the suffix less and it has to be added at the end of the word useless, fear, and the suffix less, fearless. Now in 7th standard, you are going to learn about some more suffixes. Shall we have a look at it? Now in your textbook, you can come to page number 25. You have an activity here. You have to match the words with the right suffixes. And in the center, they have given you the words aware, care, regard, comfort, trouble, glory, and sport. Now, I have given you the same words here and the same suffixes here. Now, start matching the words with the right suffixes, children. Shall we check the answers? Now, the first word is aware. What is the right suffix? Awareness. Care. Careful. Regard. Regardless. Comfort. Comfortable. Trouble. Troublesome. Glory. What is the suffix? Glorious. Now here note it, children. In the word glory, we have to remove Y when IOUS is added. Here, the suffix is OUS, but we have to remove Y and add an I and then write the suffix OUS. So it becomes glorious. The last word is sport and the suffix is iv, so it becomes sportive. Now, how many of you got the answers right? Very good. Now is your homework time. Now, in your textbook, open page number 28 and I have marked 2 headings for you. The one is find out the noun forms of the words given below. Use a dictionary if necessary. So, with the help of the dictionary, you have to find out the noun forms of these words. And the second main, now fill in the blanks with the suitable noun forms mentioned above. Now, whatever noun forms you are going to find out here, the same you have to use to write the answers for these blanks. Now, what you have to do? You have to do the homework, write it down in your book and then show it to your teacher at school. Hope you all enjoyed today's class, children. I'll see you again with the second part of the lesson. Thank you.